Shalom. It's King Kashim Malaki Akashim. And as I've been telling you all, our ancestors have been enslaved with the Bible, the book of confusion, mixed confusion, given as food, as fodder to cattle, to slaves. That's what Bible means. Babel, Bible. The Tower of Babel is the Tower of Babel. Babel and Abaria is Babel, which was translated to Babel, which is the same word as Bible. All right? To confuse our language. Check this out. The Willie Lynch letter called Control the Language. Let's get to it. Well, let's do it now. Real talk though. Control the language. Crossbreeding completed. For further severance from the original beginning, we must completely annihilate the mother tongue of both the new nigger and the new mule, and institute a new language that involves the new life work of both. You know, language is a peculiar institution. It leads to the heart of a people. The more a foreigner knows about the language of another country, the more he is able to move through all levels of that society. Therefore, if the foreigner is an enemy of the country, to the extent that he knows the body of the language, to the extent is the country vulnerable to attack or invasion of a foreign culture. For example, if you take a slave, if you teach him all about your language, he will know all your secrets. And he is then no more a slave, for you can't fool him any longer. Yada yada yada. Shalom. For example, if you told a slave that he must perform in getting out our crops, and he knows the language, well, he would know that our crops didn't mean our crops, and the slavery system will break down, for he will relate on the basis of what our crops really meant. So you have to be careful in setting up the new language, the English language of witchcraft. For the slave will soon be in your house, talking to you man to man, and that is death to our economic system. In addition, the definition of words or terms are only a minute part of the process. Values are created and transported by communication through the body of the language. Lashon. A total society has many interconnected value systems. All the values in the society have bridges of language to connect them for orderly working in the society. But for these language bridges, these many value systems would sharply clash and cause internal strife or civil war. The degree of the conflict being determined by the magnitude of the issues or relative opposing strength in whatever form. For example, if you put a slave in a hog pen and train him to live there, and incorporate in him to value it as a way of life completely, the biggest problem you will have out of him is that he will worry you about provisions to keep the hog pen clean, or the same hog pen, to keep the hog pen clean, or the same hog pen, and make a slip and incorporate something in his language. Let's bring it back. For example, if you put a slave in a hog pen and train him to live there and incorporate in him to value it as a way of life completely, the biggest problem you will have out of him is that he will worry you about provisions to keep the hog pen clean, or the same hog pen, and make a slip and incorporate something in his language, whereby he comes to value a house more than he does his hog pen. You got a problem. He will soon be in your house. The end. Now, we were enslaved with the Negro Slave Bible, right? Which is the actual King James Bible that was created for the English, the England, the British, the Europeans. You feel what I'm saying? When our ancestors had sold us to the Dutch, French, and so forth, British, they had our records already from enslaving our ancestors, the Moors. So they created the Bible out of those records and created Christianity as well. They took parts out of the Bible, the Book of Confusion, and gave us this, the Negro Slave Bible. And they taught us how to speak English through the Slave Bible with the greatest parts of the scriptures taken out. So, let me see. It's a lot. For instance, it says Genesis in the Standard Bible has 50 chapters. In the Slave Bible, it had 14. Exodus in the Standard Bible has 40 chapters. In the Slave Bible, it has 2. Leviticus in the Standard Bible, it has 27. In the Slave Bible, it has 0. Numbers in the Standard Bible, 36. Slave Bible, 0. And I can keep going from there just to show you, like, there it is. There's the cover page. Here it is. It says, the Negro Bible, the Slave Bible, select parts of the Holy Bible selected for the use of the Negro slaves in the British West Indies Islands. That's it, read that right. West India Islands. No, I said read it again though. The Negro Bible, the Slave Bible, select parts of the Holy Bible selected for the use of the Negro slave in the British West India Islands. You feel what I'm saying? In the British West India Islands. Right? Let's do something real quick. Check this out. American, pertaining to America, a native of America, originally applied to the Aboriginals or copper-colored races found here by the Europeans, but now applied to the descendants of Europeans born in America. Right? So, it said that the copper-colored races, the Aboriginals, are the Americans found here in America. Now let's go to Indian. American. You heard what an American is. Now let's go to Indian. An Indian. A general name of any native of the Indies, as an East Indian or West Indian, West Indies. It is particularly applied to any native of the American continent. You feel what I'm saying? So, the Negro Bible, the Slave Bible, select parts of the Holy Bible, selected for the use of the Negro slaves in the British West India Islands and the West Indies. So the American Indians were the Negroes that was given the slave Bible. Know that. Now what did Yahya say? Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 9. For then will I turn to the people of a pure language, that they may all call upon the name of Yahya, to serve him with one consent. Pure language. Now, check this. What language did Yahya shall speak? Who is Yahya? Okay? Mashiach, Acts, chapter 26, verse 14. And when we were all fallen to the earth, I heard a voice saying unto me in the Abariya language, Abariya Lashan, in the Hebrew language, Shayal, why persecutest thou me? Why are you persecuting me? Is it hard for you to kick against the goal? And I said, who are you, master? And the master said, I am Yahya, whom you persecuted. Shayal heard a voice in Abari Elashan, and it was Yahya. Just like Yabalium, Jubilees, chapter 25, verse 12 to 17 says, Abariya, Hebrew, is the language of Lashan, of creation. Shalom.